my weekly live where we gather in community to receive spiritual grounding, support, perspective, and inspiration surrounding the energies of the week to come through the lens of tarot and astrology. And what an exciting week! It's the last couple days of the calendar year of 2025, as of right now. And yeah, of course, this is New Year's week. New Year's Day is Thursday. So we're in the last leg. I know I'm feeling very holiday in between. I was always like, is this it feels like Mercury retrograde today. It's not. I don't think we have another Mercury retrograde until I'm not sure when. Yeah. I was looking into the astrology of 2026 and I saw when it was, but I don't remember at the moment. But yeah, what the heck is going on in the energy today? Let's see. Not a lot at this point in the day. That's interesting. But later in the day, we have Vesta squaring Chiron. Interesting. So we're definitely being challenged to, notice what's been dampening, suppressing our, inner fires. That's so interesting. So that can actually heal. This week, Chiron will actually be going direct. So that's interesting. That's going to be an important part of this forward motion cascade coming in with the new calendar year. Oh, and the moon in Aries is squaring Jupiter. The moon in Aries will also conjunct Chiron retrograde today. And the moon in Aries is trining Mercury and Sagittarius at the end of the day. So that will actually be a really cool kind of integration moment where we feel like we're back in flow. But there is challenging energy today. That's so validating. Astrology is just so cool. So, on to this week's energy. The moon will be transiting. I love when it does this. Aries, Taurus, Gemini, and Cancer, the first 4 signs of the zodiac. It's only in Aries for a minute on Monday, but talk about new beginning energy. Talk about this sort of fresh start feeling. So how perfect for New Year's week. We have both Juno, the asteroid of marriage and commitment, and Mercury entering Capricorn. Juno on Monday, and Mercury right on New Year's Day. So even more of this fresh energy changing sort of vibes. And then as I was saying, Chiron goes direct in Aries on Friday. Sunday is the full moon in Cancer. And how neat! 2026 has 2 full moons in Cancer, right at the beginning and right at the end of the year. So the whole year is kind of ensconced with this energy of it being powerfully illuminated. What it's time to be nurturing in favor of greater work-life balance, balance between grinding, which hopefully as society progresses will be kind of on the way out sort of thing, because we deserve to attune to the seasons. Hi! But yeah, I find that interesting too, because Jupiter will spend the first part of the year in Cancer as well, before moving into Leo later in the year, which is 6 of Wands energy. So there's some cool energy coming in this week, this new calendar year, and I can't wait to check in on it with you. The decks we're going to be using, I'm so excited. We're using 2 of my new decks that I got for Christmas, as well as 2 old favorites. The first old favorite, hello, is Woodland Wardens. The first new favorite is the Dream Song Oracle. When I originally, I bought myself this one. Ha ha ha, yay, Merry Christmas to me. Saw this one, I was like, ooh, that has such a Tarot of Mystical Moments vibe. Although I did actually get the official sister deck for that and the Oracle. But when I was looking through it, I was like, wait, this is a Woodland Wardens esque deck. So it's going into the combo. Field Guide to Garden Dragons. I love using this one when the moon is in Taurus because it's all different sort of food dragons. And it's just very nourishing. And then, of course, Tarot of the Woodland Wardens, the other one I got for Christmas. I'm so excited about this one. It's amazing. I interviewed all my new decks yesterday, and yeah, this one was really given some zinger messages. And I love how the imagery from Woodland Wardens like cross references itself on the cards. It's like amazing. I'm so excited to share that deck with you today. But before we get into that, let's read our thought piece from Wee Moon 2025. My new Wee Moon calendar is actually in like postal limbo, so I'm hoping it comes before next week, before next Sunday. If not, we'll figure it out. But this week's piece is called This Place by Kirsten Olsen. This place. We walk around this place, pretending that we don't know what we're doing, collecting feathers and flowers and rocks, and curating our altars, as if we hadn't the slightest clue of the sacredness of our movements. We fill our spaces with papers and words and questions we don't remember, that we are the answers, that we are the poetry, the stories, the grace, that even in our disillusioned state, deliver us over and over and over again, as we birth our ephemeral selves like the seasons, bloody and screaming and beautiful, back into the world to play another round of hide and go seek with ourselves, duly and sincerely searching for our radiance, collecting feathers and flowers and rocks. That one resonated so much with me because that feels like the whole like almost vibe that I've been in for all of 2025, like kind of like playing lost, maybe pretending that I don't know, like don't remember, I don't know, my own magic. So it's been intense. It sucked. This was a shitty year. But yeah, I'm excited for like fresh energy to come in. I'm already feeling the sort of resurgence, the forward motion. How neat that even as I'm filming today, we have this Vesta square kind of like creating important friction, motivating us to remember what like, sets our spirits on fire in like good and inspiring ways. Like new deck combos, yeah! And so, let's get right into it. Starting with getting the decks out of their boxes. Of course, the reading will unfold the same way client readings with me do. Starting with the cut cards as a picture of the initial energy. Following that, I'll comment on the cards that go by during the shuffling process to sort of like lay a foundation, a sort of backstory for the week. This will actually look better like this. Following that, I'll pull the main cards and lay them face down to start. And then we'll turn to the cards at the bottom of the decks after shuffling, which I call the shadow cards, and they represent the energy bringing us to the week. Following that, we'll flip over the main oracle cards one by one to reveal the like main overseeing themes of the week. And then we'll get into the day-to-day energies and pull tarot cards as we go. And then at the very end, I'll check, I will reveal the cards at the top of the decks after shuffling. I call those the higher self cards, and they represent our messages of hope moving forward. And if you're interested in a personal reading with me, the link is, we're on YouTube. I'll try to remember to put it in the comments below. I put this one on private because last week I got like inundated with comments. It was overwhelming. My partner was really excited about that. He was like, wow, that's like so, like you made it. And I was like, I don't like it. So I'll keep it small. And I'll make this public afterwards. But anyway, so that being said, if you're watching this as the replay, keep an eye out because I'll share the private link beforehand each week. So if you want to watch it live, keep an eye out for that. Or get in touch with me and I'll send it to you. Yay! So, let's get right into it. The week of December 29th, 2025 to January 4th, 2026. And we start start with 19, the bat, and hellebore, intuition. So this week is really asking us, I know, me too, to trust our intuitions, to like listen to yourself, like me being like, even if it's like cool to get that much, I don't know, like exposure, didn't feel good in my energy. And so we're listening to our energy. We're listening to our intuitions. We're following the nudges. That's going to be such an important theme in this new year, especially with it's like bookended with full moons in Cancer sort of energy. Intuition really is like an important factor at this point. And so next we have number 14, Vulture and Asphodel, which is a Saturn flower, upheaval. So yeah, I don't know about you guys. I've been having some upheaval in the past couple days. Christmas was really nice, but like the next couple days are kind of like, woo. So yeah, that's kind of all part of it. Like I always picture upheaval, sort of tower energy, as like this important like tiller that's helping the new growth become possible. And next we have 46, butterfly and snowdrop, hope. And what an interesting trajectory going from the upheaval card to the hope card, from tower energy to star energy. It is possible. It is happening. And that's so interesting to see the butterfly here, because I was just using butterfly energy as a metaphor yesterday when I wrote about the Wheel of Fortune card as Saturday's card of the day. Like, 2025 was a cocoon. And 2026 is going to be like the wing spreading. Because there's been such important metamorphosis happening. Number 6, the frog and lotus metamorphosis. Lotus, whenever they come up, I love talking about lotus energy, because they are symbolic of the 7-year journey. The lotus takes 7 years to fully blossom on the surface. It spends 5 years in the mud, 2 years snaking up through the water as we come to the end of the year of the snake, before blossoming on the surface in the 7th year. So this is a neat time for reflection, especially where we're in the holiday in between of like what has happened over the past 7 years. Where were you, I suppose, in 2019? Whoa. And like witness how far you've come in like important ways. What is going to be blossoming now in this 7th year? Did I literally just even use this word? The Future Pause 19, weasel and pine. Introspection. Exactly. That's fascinating. And pine is a Capricorn tree. The past pile, introspection exactly on your dreams. Number 20, Cayman and Poppy. Dreams. There is so much tilling up to create space for those bigger dreams you hold for yourself to finally grow. Amazing. And yeah, like all these transits into Aries are gonna burn off whatever like had like settled just kind of on the like the surface of all that. I don't know, I'm picturing like leaf litter. Wow. So what's our main card for the week from Woodland Wardens? Now, Feel Good to Garden Dragons. I love this deck. It is incredible. I wondered if one of these, there are 2 cards in it, peanut butter and jelly dragons, and we have the peanut butter dragon as the first cut card with the keyword companion. Cute. So, as a follow-up to that intuition card, how can you be a better companion to yourself? How can you honor, like, feeling self-supported, preceding the ability to connect meaningfully with others and receive support from external sources as well? Oh my goodness. But with companion energy, there is so much support. I love how strongly that's been coming through as a theme. I think it was too, even when we were doing like Cosmic Church before I took the break, but that one was more emphasizing like ancestors and spirit guides and stuff. But this is like, it's become a more like community, like tangible, like actual people uplifting each other energy. So I love that that's what we're starting with. And Turnip Dragon, resilience, kind of even more of that Lotus energy, actually. So much has been uprooted, but that was important. And it really showed you, like, what you're made of. Yeah, as well as Mushroom Dragon, any illusions you'd been harboring. Those are getting, like, dispelled at this point. There's important light being shone on any, like, lingering bullshit, for real. Especially where we're coming up on the first solar eclipse of the year. There's a new moon in Capricorn, and then the new moon solar eclipse in Aquarius, which is Seven of Swords energy. So this would be a good time to, on your own, emerge from denial in any form. Because otherwise the universe is kind of going to do it for you. We have some strong tower themes this week. I wonder if that's going to show up. But that Starfruit Dragon, moderation, interesting. So an important part of this whole process is, like, scaling back on whatever is, like, no longer necessary on your journey. Whoa. So that star card energy can kind of shine its brightest. Burn off the leaf litter. Even though as I'm saying it, I'm like, no, the leaf litter is important for the butterflies and bees. But anyway, the future pile is squash. Opinions. So I love that combination of words, squash, opinions. This is also some, like, almost Seven of Wands energy of not letting other people's opinions squash your determination. Especially where that's clearly ramping up at this point. You are getting determined around the right things. And that is such a vibe where we have so many planets and asteroids in Capricorn right now. We have the Sun, Mars, Venus, and Vesta already. And now Juno and Mercury are joining the Capricorn party. So that's 7 planetary bodies in Capricorn right now. Ultra practical energy, ultra determined energy. And yeah, the past piles, Cantaloupe Dragon, realign. That's basically exactly what I've been talking about. There is this important, like, realignment happening. This, like, yeah, clear understanding of what has fallen out of balance in favor of actually getting down to it with realigning. Heard. And so, what is our main card from Field Guide to Garden Dragons for this week? Boop. Oh, I'm so excited. Dream Song Oracle. We're into the new decks. Yes. Wow. I love this deck because it has such interesting, like, phrases on the cards. They're so evocative. And we start with number 2, Moonbathe in Hope. Isn't this wild? We have the Hope card from Woodland Wardens as well. We got some big time. I would not be surprised if the Tower and the Star both showed up in the tarot cards, but the themes are coming through strongly in the Oracle decks. But then I was also talking about this full moon in Cancer energy. Like, the moon is in its domicile, in its most powerful placement in Cancer. So we really are starting the year off on a strong foot. I love that for us. Oh my god, they're looking so pretty together too. Like, look at the similar tones. Amazing. It's just so exciting to me. And I feel like I was talking about this too, but 42, embrace self-compassion. And I love this card where she's holding a stag. And what do I always say when stags come up in the imagery? Stags are a symbol of consistency. And so that's something that you're getting consistent with. Being gentler with yourself. Extending more compassion to yourself than had, like, felt possible in the past. But you're committed to that now. And that's a huge part of this important, like, traction being gained in good time. There's still very, like, in-between energy. I always say the new calendar year because, like, the middle of fucking winter is not much of a actual new start time. But I saw someone put it, I loved it. It's like just this important time for, like, preparation for the astrological new year in Aries, because, like, if you waited right until then, there, like, wouldn't be time. So this is just this amazing, like, sort of downtime that gives you time to process, to prepare, to like ponder. And embrace self-compassion. And number 4, tend the roots of reciprocity. There's that companion energy too. Look at these little companions. So this year does hold this important energy of kind of branching out, connecting with others in even more meaningful ways as well, because of the ways you've been healing the like inner connections with yourself. And that is such a like continued transit of Pluto through Aquarius vibe. Aquarius is the sign of community, of humanity, and we do all need to come together to like change the world. And 13, craft your focus. Exactly. That is so what I was just talking about these winter months actually being such a fertile time for creativity, creating, honing the vision. And so, the future pile, more kind of community companionship vibes. Number 40, have tea with the birds. So that feels like a noticing energy. There's actually a tea card in Field Guide to Garden Dragons. It's the relax card. So this is a time for just, like sitting with your cup of tea and like, I don't know, looking out the window, pondering, processing everything that's happened. And the past pile is number 5, share your bounty. And that's a very Pluto Aquarius vibe too. Like, imagine if the capitalist system fell. Like, this is what I've been talking about for years. I kind of like slowed it down this year, but like, what would we do if like the structure of society completely shifted? Like, what would we bring to a market? Like I did all those years ago when I set up my tent and started offering tarot readings and stuff. You have a particular skill that you could share in a market style setting. And this time is a really neat moment to like think about that and like plan, prepare. Ooh. And so, our main card from Dream Song Oracle for this week. Boop. Woodland Wardens Tarot. I'm so excited about it. The Page of Cups. This was the one that was kind of going through my mind's eye. I love the little crab on it. I don't know if you watch Winnie is her new crab, but she used to have Howie the crab. And she like has this pet crab. It's Laura Porter, I think. And it's like amazing. This like adorable crab that has so much personality. They're so smart. And how cool. But the Page of Cups is the card of the inner child. Your bigger dreams for yourself. Like building the like sand castle that one day will become real. Whoa. Or the like snow fort where it's the middle of winter. With the 4 of Swords on the other side of the split. So much emphasis on that, like, there's no rush at this point. That's nice to hear. Because, yeah, there is still a lot of processing of, like, integration to be done. Still to be done. And how interesting, there's that 7 of Swords energy that I was talking about. So a lot of the processing that needs to be done is really, again, admitting any illusions we've been harboring, anything that has been directly causing us to waste time, detracting from our focus. Oh wow, the 6 of Swords, beautiful Sigu. The other side of that coin is witnessing ourselves in the amount of healing we've done. It was neat for me to realize that this is the first full year that I haven't smoked weed at all in like a bazillion thousand years. So there are things to be proud of ourselves for, and that is a huge emphasis this week. What you can. I just lost my pink cap. That's okay. And And the Ace of Swords. Whoa, so many swords. But there is focus to be found. How neat that the other deck referenced that energy too. And the Lovers. Ooh. Because this is the time to be committing to where you want to be come the like spring and summer months. The Lovers card is associated with Gemini energy. More than anything, it's the card of commitment to your path. What is your path? What do you understand that to be? If you have no idea, I can help you with that with a life path check-in reading. But yeah, I love this. These little birds are on the love card in Woodland Wardens, and the ladybug is from the happiness card. So what are you committing to ultimately? What your heart wants and what truly makes you happy. Like, in an important way, all these Aries transits are going to be clearing the way for exactly what that means to you. So buckle up. Because it will mean having to like let go of other things that you've been holding on to for whatever reason. And so the future pile is the Queen of Wands. Beautiful! I have a little black cat that looks just like that. Although her eyes are green. This one's our amber. But look at that. There's still time to figure it all out. There's still time to do these like energetic adjustments, the like feng shuiing of your life that welcomes in more of that theme that came up with the thought piece of remembering your own magic, tending to that, allowing it to grow in favor of, that Six of Wands, Jupiter and Leo energy of magnetizing recognition, victory, and success. Beautiful. And the past ball is the Nine of Wands. So there is this important energy of setting boundaries against what you're aware you no longer want in your life, against those long-harbored illusions, detractions from your focus, so that your energy can continue to heal, so that you can maintain the progress you've already made, in favor of this like push towards the finish line that will be becoming more possible as we move through this winter. Although sooner than later, because all these Aries transits are going to be happening right at the end of January and into February. So exciting. What's our main advice card from Woodland Wardens for the week? Yay! So the shadow cards, the energy bring us to the week. Boop. And we start with number 7, Chipmunk and Laurel, success. Whoa, that's so interesting because I've been talking about that theme where, Jupiter and Leo later in 2026 has come up a bunch of times. That being associated with the Six of Wands, which is the card of recognition, victory, and success. There's our laurel wreath of victory that the character in the Six of Wands is wearing. So how cool. I like the chipmunk there too, because like there's a particular kind of nut that you've tucked away that is ready to be dug up, that's going to come up with this tilling, and you're in perfect position to seize it, to unite with it. Lemon Lime Dragon Union. And oh my god, all these themes of companionship in the form of friends, in the form of like lovers, is really strong. There is like this fresh sort of zest coming because you are feeling supported. And 9, shed the tears. What happens when you feel supported? You're able to like, do these important emotional releases. It's important to cry. What a full moon in Cancer vibe, for real. But there's so much healing happening right now that is opening you up to that much more like authentic and successful connections. And the Wheel of Fortune, whoa, and I was just talking about Wheel of Fortune energy as part of the butterfly metaphor. We had the Wheel of Fortune for the card of the day for yesterday, but here it is as the entire energy bringing us into this new week. So yesterday was actually important. That could be part of the introspection reflection that you do. What happened on Saturday, December 27th for you? There's some key piece of like expansion fuel that transpired. I love our beautiful duck here. Duck. Oh, duck is the luck card in Woodland Wardens. How perfect for the Wheel of Fortune. I love it. But major change is underway. And it's here to, like, yeah, brighten things. I love the, like, this looks like the sky outside today. Amazing. Except a little less cloudy. No, it's pretty cloudy. But blue sky as well. Gorgeous. And it's cold AF. So, number XL 40. Bobcat and Blackthorn, patience. Interesting. There is no rush. It is still like the winter solstice was but 10 days ago or something as of the new year. Not even 10 days ago now. Like 7 days, a week ago. It's deep winter. This is a time for rest, for patience with the process. And I love our beautiful, like, purplish blue blackthorn berries here. Very third eye, crown chakra vibes. This is a time for meditation, for stillness, for percolating intuitively. Absolutely. And broccoli dragon place. The focus now is, first of all, that you're in the right place, wherever that is in your process, and focusing on just your health, your, like, solidity, your groundedness, and thus can your heart open wider to what you want to be expanding into long term. Yes. And 12, fly with the dreamer. 12 is the number of the hanged man card. Really strong emphasis on, patience with the process, hanging in there. This being a time of percolation, of strategizing. Owls are associated with Athena, the goddess of strategy, and just dreaming big towards that ultimate, what you will ultimately be expanding into as the new calendar year unfolds. Absolutely. But also getting excited, the Page of Wands. Yeah, because there are, like, sparkles of the return of your energy, the return of your, like, creativity, your inspiration. And so hold on to that and, like, protect it. Almost picturing, like, the hermit's lamp as a representation of the inner fire. It's getting reignited. And right now is just about figuring out how to kind of just keep it stoked as the flame grows bigger and bigger and gets a huge, like, kind of bellows with all these upcoming Aries transits. Wow! And so, Monday, December 29th. Right away in the day, the moon enters Taurus at 7:57 a.m., bringing us off the 9-hour and 44-minute void of course that starts this evening at 10:13 p.m. But yeah, the moon is also exalted in Taurus. There's a lot of really good, like, moon energy coming in this week. How interesting that we had two Dream Song Oracle cards directly referencing the moon. And Juno enters Capricorn at 10:35 a.m. So 2 energetic shifts into earth signs. So things immediately feeling more stable. You're more aware of what you're committing to. You are just feeling that much more grounded in these important and dream fertilizing ways. Ooh. The moon in Taurus squares, that said, the moon in Taurus squares Pluto in Aquarius at 12:24 p.m. So this is a big, like, moment of challenge to get out of your comfort zone, to embrace whatever needs to transform in order for that actual growth to happen. Like, it's almost you holding on to the tiller, you being the tower. But knowing that things will work out better that way. Whoa. The moon in Taurus trines Venus in Capricorn at 7:03 p.m. So they're almost immediate rewards. This segue from tower to star energy. Fascinating. But that's a lovely aspect. There's flow happening. There are, like, practical conversations being had in relationships that ultimately do help to stabilize things, to increase the flow. Oh, this togetherness energy, this is so interesting. And then Venus in Capricorn squares Ceres in Aries at 7:12 p.m. Whoa, what a combo. A Venus trine and then a Venus square with Ceres, the asteroid of nurturing, of harvest, of like motherhood energy. So there is definitely a vibe of important relationship stuff coming up on Monday evening. So like, know that it's ultimately here to affect smoother sailing, but you do really need to go there with, yeah, any like illusions you've been harboring, like really needing to lay out what you feel hasn't been working in order to nurture progress, because that will actually allow that to be nurtured as a result. Does that make sense? Yes. Mars in Capricorn sextiles the North Node in Pisces at 8:50 p.m. So yeah, things really are like working out as a result of that. That is really helping to open up this new level of like much more purposeful, like long-term building energy. And beautiful, it's the waxing gibbous moon in Taurus at 10:21 p.m. Monday evening, a trine between the sun in Capricorn and the moon in Taurus. So like, be willing to go there on Monday, December 29th. Because that will help everything work out that much more beautifully and like expeditiously than if you had kind of like did not go there, you know? Whoa! And so, what's our card for Monday, December 29th? Oh, what do we got here? Interesting. Not very romantic, although this is a Venus card. The Five of Swords. So clearly there is an important conversation coming up. You do need to challenge yourself to go there, even if it's uncomfortable, because that is going to allow the pieces to be laid out in favor of being sorted through, deciding what's going to be brought forward and what's going to be left in the past for good. And that came out with the Nine of Wands. So taking this advice myself, this would be a really good day to do whatever kind of energetic practices reinforce your boundaries. That's one of my main meanings for the Nine of Wands. Because, yeah, there is a need to protect your energy. There could be a sort of onslaught. But again, going there, facing it, will ultimately work out really well. Like, will lead to much more expansive energy. The Nine of Wands is associated with the moon in Sagittarius. So this is actually all part of what your heart has been kind of calling out for. What your like soul has been informing you that it needs. And Monday's energy is setting that in motion, like big time. Off to an interesting start. So, Tuesday, December 30th. Oh, that kind of makes sense because we're in like, yeah, the holiday in between time. There's like almost like cabin fever kind of setting in. Everybody's been eating too much like sugar and dyes and stuff. So we're all in very Five of Swords-y energy. Tuesday, December 30th. The moon in Taurus sextiles the North Node in Pisces at 2:32 a.m. So your subconscious is really doing the work, like processing everything that's happened in order to transmute it creatively in a way to help you get that much more purposeful about what you're ready to be rooting into next. The moon in Taurus trines Mars in Capricorn at 2:54 a.m. So even more of this, like, yeah, there's so much going on in Capricorn. There's so many, like, the moon in Taurus is activating all of it. But this awesome, like, more productive in a way energy flow happening. This is in the middle of the night, but like you're receiving an important like energy boost overnight. Mercury in Sagittarius squares Saturn in Pisces at 3:15 a.m. So yet another overnight influence, but where this is like an actual planet involved and not just the moon. We're already feeling this one. That's interesting. Maybe that's part of what was going on with the energy today, because Mercury, even when it's not retrograde, can be quite tricksterish. It gives you a lot to like chew on, to ponder, to consider. And squaring Saturn, it's like challenges coming up. And the challenge is to stay the course, not dissolve into escapism where it's Sagittarius and Pisces involved. So, Yeah, there's a big themes coming up to ask you, is this like worth the battle sort of thing? Are you willing to fight to keep something in your life? Or is it like worth shifting gears? Ooh. And then the moon in Taurus, yay! Sextiles Jupiter retrograde in Cancer at 7:27 p.m. So immediately there's this important, like, you're seeing how everything that's been coming up so far this week is expansive, is helping you get to where you want to be ultimately. So, what's our card for Tuesday, December 30th? The Knight of Swords. This is so interesting for a moon in Taurus transit. Like, huge conversations coming up. Oh! In favor of the healing. This was poking out too. Whoa! So, yes, potentially uncomfortable conversations being had, but they're all here to further the healing journey, to reinforce your commitment to like the long-term vision, to help you spread your wings. But it does mean having to like go there with the conversations. This is becoming more of a whole week theme than just Mondays. As a Pisces, I am not loving this flavor, but it's resonant though. Yeah, a Mercury square Saturn, challenging yourself to have the important conversations that really do lead to a level up, but are not the most fun in the meantime. Holy moly. So, oh, this is the like end of the 2025 year clearing. Yes. Wednesday, December 31st. The moon in Taurus sextiles Saturn in Pisces at 2:58 a.m. So even more of this overnight, like integrating, figuring it all out in the like subconscious sphere. And the moon in Taurus conjunct Uranus retrograde in Taurus at 5:56 a.m. This could be the type of energy that gets you like sitting up in bed and being like, oh, with capital O and a exclamation mark and a light bulb and a lightning bolt sort of thing. Huge realizations about what's been disturbing your sense of groundedness so that can be resolved. Yeah, like felt. And then the moon in Taurus sextiles Neptune in Pisces at 8:25 a.m. So, like, quite an important morning. The tide's turning in this, but, like, opportunistic way, this kind of harmonizing way. Important creative energy coming in to, like, deliver you. And the moon goes void of course at that point for 48 minutes. Very short void of courses this week. All of them are about 40-some minutes. And interestingly, during that short void of course window, Mercury in Sagittarius quincunxes Uranus retrograde in Taurus, exact at 9:08 a.m. Atlantic time. A lot of Mercury activity this week. This week is definitely giving us a lot to chew on mentally. Again, this huge overarching theme this week of important conversations being had. And this moment in the week is delivering an important workaround. Like the change that can be made is being powerfully revealed as a result of what is so clearly not like working at this point. That allowing this glance off into a better, more productive direction. The moon moves into Gemini, my natal moon sign, at 9:13 a.m. And so, did we already have a lot of, like, mercurial energy this week? Here's a whole, like, couple days where the entire vibe is colored in that. Oh, and how interesting that we have the lovers, too, because that is Gemini energy as well. Commitment to, yeah, shifting your mindset. Ooh, that's going to be a really important part of everything that's, like, happening. Oh, and it's New Year's Eve. Wow. The moon in Gemini trines Pluto in Aquarius at 1:34 p.m. And who's Pluto but the Transformer? Also the Destroyer, the Great Tiller. Although Pluto's associated with the Judgment card. So there's something important being resurrected here where it comes to your innovation. That's like flowing at this point. You're seeing the way. Oh my God. Yes, seeing the way forward on New Year's Eve. Crazy. And then, yes, Pallas in Aquarius sextiles Chiron retrograde in Aries at 8:51 p.m. So your thinking cap is on securely, and you are strategizing towards what would best heal your situation as a whole, your life as a whole. So what's our card for December 31st? New Year's Eve. Okay. It's interesting how we're having like double cards each day here. The Woodland Warren is very talkative, very communicative deck. But we have the Ten of Swords. So clearly being shown what patterns need to be broken free from. What has been pinning you down? That like Moon in Taurus conjunct Uranus retrograde in Taurus, like, oh, moment. In favor of the Eight of Pentacles. Really getting to work on what you actually want to be focusing on. Really actually regrounding. Really, like, yeah, being able to actually get organized around what matters to you in a much bigger way because you've, like, unshackled yourself from this past, like, bullshit. Holy fuck. I'm, like, putting on my, like, spiritual seatbelt. Whoa! Okay. Thursday, January 1st, the Moon in Gemini squares the North Node in Pisces at 2:45 a.m. There's so much happening each day around, like, between 2 and 3 a.m. Isn't that so interesting? I find that's often a time when I actually wake up. But, like, holy moly. Astrology is, like, so real. But this is this important, like, boot in the butt overnight about getting purposeful. Like, believing that your, like, bigger dreams for yourself can come true. I'm well acquainted with Gemini square Pisces energy because I live under it. I'm a Pisces sun with Gemini moon. So the challenge is, yeah, believe it. Believe in the, like, bigger things possible for you when you get out of your own way. Oh, the Ten of Swords and the Eight of Pentacles for the 31st. So then the Sun in Capricorn sextiles the North Node in Pisces at 4 a.m. So this gorgeous kind of integration of that boot in the butt to believe in those bigger dreams for yourself. You're like, your dream world self is like, I do believe in those bigger dreams and I will make them tangible. And the way to do that is being illuminated by the subconscious. Wow. And then yet another Mercury square. Mercury in Sagittarius square Neptune in Pisces at 9:33 a.m. So yet another big, like, shove from the universe to expand into the creative vision, to expand into your spiritual supports, lest you fall back down the stairs. No, keep going up the stairs. Do not run away from the prospect of what you actually want for yourself coming through. How huge for the first day of the new calendar year. And then that was Mercury in Sagittarius' last laugh. Oh, keep going up the stairs. Oh my god. I wonder if I'll rewatch this one. I never rewatch Cosmic Church, but I feel like this one has some, like, nuggets. Then Mercury moves into Capricorn at 5:11 p.m. on New Year's Day. So that's an immediate shift into even more of this, like, securing your practicality hat. How interesting that Mercury changes signs when the moon is in Mercury's sign. Neat. But yeah, Mercury in Capricorn, very practical energy. No, there's not a tarot card of Mercury in Capricorn. Why does Mercury in Capricorn feel like a thing? Anyway. I know. Yeah, this is definitely a step up year. And yeah, do we want to backslide into everything that 2025 represented? No, we don't. Decide not to backslide. Wow, that's so interesting. / fall down the stairs. Ooh, that's an interesting, like, phrase. The moon in Gemini, on the day Mercury changes signs, is perigee, exact at 5:55 p.m. That means it's, like, zoomed in, being like, You getting the messages? Are you having the conversations? And the moon in Gemini sextiles Chiron retrograde in Aries at 9:20 p.m. So, like, that's an energy of, like, being glad you ripped off the Band-Aid. This week is a roller coaster. Holy shit. It's way different from last week's energy. So Thursday, January 1st, New Year's Day. The Page of Swords. Letting the arrow fly. How interesting that we had the Knight of Swords before, so there has been kind of a step back, but into this kind of like freshness. This like cleaned slate. Whoa. And this readiness to try out like new tools, new approaches. The Wolf card in Woodland Warden's Oracle is the Guardianship card. So you are like taking yourself seriously as the guardian of the ideas you want to be following through on. And January 1st, holy moly, is really setting you up to like thread that arrow in an even more focused way. Because you became fully aware on New Year's Eve of what patterns need to be broken free from. And New Year's Day really does feel like a breakthrough. Amazing. And so, Friday, January 2nd, Venus in Capricorn sextiles the North Node in Pisces at 1:43 a.m. Yet another overnight, like, opening to your sense of purpose, your heart getting on board with the direction you want your purpose to be taking, and that opening all these important, like, inner doors towards you, making that more tangible in your, like, waking life. The moon in Gemini squares both Saturn and Neptune in Pisces at 3:09 a.m. and 8:23 a.m. respectively before going void of course for 46 minutes. But again, this huge challenge to believe in, to like follow through on this bigger vision, to stick with it. That is the challenge. Hold the vision. And then the moon goes void. Yeah. Went void of course for 46 minutes and moves into Cancer at 9:09 a.m. Cancer is the moon's domicile, its power placement. Here's all this like, bolstering of the intuitive energy, this like nurturing energy that kind of like reaffirms you're metaphorically being pregnant with possibility at this point. Yeah! Work-life balance is being manifested. Oh, and that's funny because January 2nd, well, I suppose the kids are still not in school, but it's like the first like normal day of the year where everybody's just like back and it's like, well, here we go. Full steam ahead. Chiron goes direct in Aries at 9:41 a.m. Amazing. So immediately, things will begin to feel more straightforward on the healing journey process as well. Chiron retrograde was this important, like, possibly quite painful review time of your wounds, where you're at with those. And here you are, like, in that Six of Swords boat, even more securely. The, like, seatbelt is on, or you have an oar now. Chiron in Aries is such an interesting influence. That's where Chiron was back in like the 60s when like the civil rights movement and everything was happening. So that's like a theme in our collective right now. And here it becomes more straightforward. Hello, Pluto and Aquarius as well. Although I think Chiron in Aries is in later degrees of Aries at this point. But anyway. The moon in Cancer opposes Mercury in Capricorn at 10:58 a.m. So already previews of what the full moon in Cancer is going to be bringing in the next day. You're really thinking about like, how can you rock better balance between your like work life and your home life this new calendar year? Important realizations being had. being stretched in all the right ways. And Mercury in Capricorn conjuncts Juno in Capricorn at 5:19 p.m. So you are feeling committed to the mindset that you're aware at this point will actually get you everywhere, will help to further the relationships that you're aware you want to see continue and like work harmoniously from here on. So Friday, January 2nd, the Hermit. That's funny because I was just saying how this is when like the week starts to move forward. But it's like, yeah, you've been given a lot to think about. There is such important processing happening. The Hermit is a card to do with healing. So how interesting that that came up on such a Chiron day. But like the main goal on Friday, January 2nd is keeping that inner fire that's illuminating your Hermit lamp burning. Like, yeah. Remaining aware of what's blown it out in the past and kind of Nine of Wands boundariesing against that. Because the overarching theme of this week, is that like your inspiration has been reignited and you're keeping that. You're rolling with that and nothing can stop that. What's the skunk in Woodland Wordens? Protection. Oh my god. Yes. So cohesive. So, Saturday, January 3rd. Weekend. Weekends are so funny to me because like, the kids are not in school usually ever on them, but like now it's like extended weekend because it's the break. But like I work on Saturday and Sunday, so it's like so funny. But happy weekend to people who have weekends. I'm getting some interesting work-life balance. Anyway, whatever. The moon in Cancer trines the North Node in Pisces at 2:08 a.m. Yet another. Oh my god. Middle of the night wave this time where it's a trine of purpose-related intuitive insights. Whoa. Every single night, notice whatever dreams come up because actually dreams are a huge theme in the main oracle cards for this week too. The moon in Cancer opposes Venus in Capricorn at 4:40 a.m. So, and then like at 6:03 a.m. is the full moon is exact, an opposition between the moon in Cancer and the sun in Capricorn. So your heart is being opened wide with that opposition energy that's like a seesaw kind of like, oh, the like cosmos are cracking open your Venus and Capricorn heart to the practical realizations that allow your life to feel that much more whole and illuminate the ways you can take practical measures to reinforce that. The moon in Cancer also opposes Mars in Capricorn at 8:37 a.m. So this whole cascade of Cancer Capricorn oppositions showing you how to open your heart to better directing your energy. Bleep, bleep, bleep. Yeah, how fun! A gigantic T-square just for you. Oh, and no. Yeah, your Aries placements are later, but fun. The pressure is real, but it's ultimately very productive. And then, the moon in Cancer conjuncts Jupiter retrograding Cancer at 6:54 p.m. So here's where you're seeing the expansive potential, where like even more of the like intuitive realizations like really click. You can see how all this energy, this friction, these squares, these like oppositions, this push-pull, how it's ultimately beneficial. Thanks, universe. And then the moon in Cancer squares Chiron now direct in Aries at 9:34 p.m. So, like, if you thought the Band-Aid had already been ripped off, it turns out it was kind of flapping, and there's another little, like, the last arm hair's gotta go. So, yeah. What is our card for Saturday, January 3rd? Wow! Oh my God, dropped it. It's the Seven of Swords. This week really does need you, like, facing what you haven't been admitting to yourself. Like, really addressing what has been wasting your time. What has been detracting from your focus. Like, you're not getting off the hook without, like, doing that. And yeah, it'll be like, even though, like, none of these are Aquarius energies, we're getting an important preview of what the solar eclipse in Aquarius on February 17th. It's gonna be like blasting like the fuck out of our lives. For real. Wow. Thanks, universe. But also, 7, the number of perseverance, and swords, the suit of the mind, of patterns of thought and action. What mindset do you need to be persevering with? What do you need to, like, clear out so that can become possible? Whoa. And yeah, how can you kind of, like, surrender control? An important facet of the Seven of Swords is, like, this character. It's a coyote, which is, like, I think it's the Deceit card in Woodland Wardens. Has, like, snuck into the enemy camp and stolen all the weapons. And so when they get back to their camp, they're like, what the hell? Why'd you do that? And the other people are like, crazy. So it's, like, not meddling, like, realizing you can control your own actions, but, like, don't try to control what other people are doing. You can't control how other people are interpreting anything. It's like, starts with you. Does that make sense? Yes. Sunday, January 4th. The moon in Cancer trines Saturn in Pisces at 3:44 a.m. Our theme of so much overnight activity. So getting into flow with what you're ready to challenge yourself to do purpose-wise. Saturn is in its last degrees of Pisces. Saturn in Pisces is 8 of Cups energy. So what is the calling you've been hearing? This energy is here to help you get in even deeper flow with that. The moon in Cancer sextiles Uranus retrograde in Taurus at 6:11 a.m. So this kind of, like, door of change inducing. Inducing is an interesting word with, oh my God, with Cancer and Taurus energy, because both of those are very kind of maternal energies. Change inducing energy. My little niece or nephew is due January 5th, so how interesting that the word inducing came up. Put 2 Y's on energy. But there's an opening being revealed here. And then the moon in Cancer trines Neptune in Pisces at 8:59 a.m. That feels like water-breaking energy! Oh my God! I have to message my sibling after this. The moon goes void of course for 44 minutes. So one way or another, there's this important, like, wave of intuitive energy coming in to get you moving in the right direction, to get you birthing all this new calendar year fresh potential. Holy moly. Then the moon goes void of course for 44 minutes before moving into Leo at 9:43 a.m. And that's interesting because my sibling is a Leo. But the moon in Leo immediately lightens the vibe, brings in this energy of, like, creativity, strength, where Leo is associated with the strength card. You're finding your spine, you're opening your heart even wider, yay! Kind of on your own terms instead of all the oppositions kind of, like, cracking it open. The moon in Leo opposes Pluto in Aquarius at 2:25 p.m. So here's where you're, like, really facing the transformations that need to be made, but from this place of empowerment. You survived the rest of the week, and you're actually feeling that much stronger as a result. Oh my god. Yeah, for real. Actually, my sibling is a Cancer rising. That's so funny. And then Vesta in Capricorn, sextiles, Saturn in Pisces at 9:05 p.m. And so how neat that the week ends. There's been such a strong theme of that inner fire getting sparked, getting stoked in ways that you are being empowered to protect. And here, wow, and Vesta in Capricorn, which rules Saturn, sextiling Saturn in Pisces. Capricorn, Pisces, such an awesome combo of like plucking those dreams out of the ethers and bringing them into tangible reality. This is like a spiritual breakthrough because you have been challenging yourself to do the work. Whoa, gotta write that one down. But yeah, literally the spiritual breakthrough because you have been putting in the work. And so what is our card for Sunday, January 4th? The Three of Wands. What a perfect wrap up. Where such a huge theme for this week was these important conversations being had. I'm going to put that in like capital letters. And weaving back in that theme that came up in the main oracle cards of patience. This week is showing you what you're ready to be putting out there alongside bolstering your willingness to wait for the like full-on return on that energetic investment, which is so interesting because the Three of Wands is actually associated with the Sun in Aries. The spring equinox, like there's still time. Like there's so much more building than can happen just this week. We just need to be willing to be holding the vision, thinking long term, and nurturing the energy that sees us through for the long haul. Whoa, who's the boar? Boar. Sometimes I can remember them, but I'm really tired. Oh, boar is confidence. Whoa. So have confidence in the vision. Have confidence that what you want to see come through eventually will, and there's no rush. You are asking yourself the right, like, difficult questions. There is progress being made, even if it still feels slow. Change is being induced. Yes. And so, what are our higher self cards? What are the messages of hope moving forward? And we start with chipmunk squirrel matching. 29 squirrel and chestnut preparation. How many times have I said that word? Oh, this is such a potent time for preparing for just like, yeah, what this whole year will be taking shape around, all in good time. And there is a particular nut that you've tucked away that is getting tilled up and ready to be like taken that much more seriously. More seriously. Thank you, all these Capricorn placements being so serious and stuff. Oh my god! Watermelon dragon, success! Double success energies. You will succeed. This is all just part of the, like, ultimate process of what you do want to be seeing take greater shape in your life coming through. And so, number 19, inhale permission, exhale relief. Thank you, Chiron, going direct in Aries. What's healing is becoming more like noticeable, more tangible. More feelable, is that a word? And the Three of Cups as a tangle of eels. I love it. Eel is the safety card in Woodland Wardens. And there's that theme of you having so much tangible human support. An important part of this week was boiling down which connections in your life are authentic, are with you for the long haul. And by the end of the week, you're feeling great about that. And where the Three of Cups is associated with Mercury in Cancer, like fully aware of the like mindset that you're ready to be nurturing. Amazing. Oh, I love that Three of Cups. That's so cute. And so, that's it for this week. Should we do our anchoring prayer? I didn't do it last week because I felt like weird about it with all those randoms. Let's do it. If you like, you can take a few deep breaths. I call upon all beings who love us unconditionally. Thank you for surrounding, supporting, guiding, and protecting us always. Thank you for allowing us to expand time, space, and our own energy so that we may be of greatest service to ourselves, our loved ones, our communities, and the world. Thank you for blessing us with the energies of courage, patience, acceptance, hope, focus, discernment, trust, surrender, forgiveness, and release from all doubts and resentments, deep faith in the process, as well as openness to give and receive love in all forms, even during times of greatest suffering. Thank you for sending the energies of peace and collective liberation to every corner of the cosmos. Thank you for protecting our health, wealth, and happiness always. And for extending the benefits of this prayer to the highest good of all. And so it is. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. Love you so much. If you are interested in seeing what this new year holds for you personally, it's the perfect time to order a year ahead reading. Or even a life path check-in reading where we're in the tail end of Saturn and Pisces and gearing up for like so much Aries energy coming in. But yeah, that's it for this week. Thanks again for watching. Love you so much. Keep an eye out for the replay on Facebook, Instagram, social media channels. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye!